Some of them are unique and some of them are not. Like one big challenge that we see is, you know, line between work and home responsibilities. So that's actually really true for both the gender, because a man will also have equal amount of responsibility, but the expectation will be very different. So what actually is a big driver is that what is the kind of environment at work and home you have, what is the kind of support system you have. So luckily, at my parents' place, we were always treated equals, and I had so high expectation being the eldest child, because all my siblings and cousins always look up to me. So I think that was always balanced. Even at my in-laws' place, we are treated equals. They give me so much importance and all of that. And luckily, most of my workplaces have been diversity and inclusion oriented. Wherever it isn't, I think it's all about the grit and hard work that you put in and you move forward. But to drive a mindset change, it actually is organization's responsibility. They need to show, whatever policies or whatever has been on paper, because everybody definitely claims to have best-in-class policies, are also shown in action. So I think one of the greatest in that example would be Myntra. We had two very strong CXO women, and it just it was just walking the talk, right? And those two were so powerful that on the floor, everybody used to feel that there is some women power going around, and they always shown that much faith in the women in budding leadership, if you may call. So I think that was very important. Like I said, you have to walk the talk. If there are enough strong women leaders, I think it just shows that by example, any kind of discrimination is not coming into picture. And if there are any such, cases which are coming out, that there is, even sometimes frivolously, a lot of people may just say things which they may not mean, but could be biased, right? So just having open channels and forums that ensure that things like those are not spoken will actually make workplace much more equals that way. The two industries where I come from, which is e-commerce and telco, always had huge women power in terms of balance. But sometimes in other industries, like when you see manufacturing, etc., by default the workforce itself is little tilted. So what happens is, to balance that out, like in Marico, if I may say, the head office has more women in that sense. So I think those kind of things really help to balance out wherever you find inequalities, but it's important to be aware of that and make change accordingly. So we see a lot of initiatives where the women who's rising to power, given enough recognition, or in promotions, you be always aware that there are almost equal chances. If not, it can never be against merit, but whenever there is a merit, you may give equal chances. So I think those are some of the best practices, but it's really industry to industry. So yes, definitely, and not just one. There were many mentors. There's always chance to learn from everybody, whether it's your junior or your senior. I don't believe in only a leader can give you enough learning. There are experiences which also give you learning. But I've been very lucky, particularly, to find two strong role models in my life. One was Gunjan Soni, who was ex-CMO and head of Jabong at Myntra. So the way she conducted herself, or whether the way she analyzed, or just bring out very small insights which probably normally one could miss out, in itself was really powerful. Secondly, my ex-boss, who's Priyanka Bhargav, I know her since when I started my journey, and she's been my 4-time boss actually. So she is one such person who's more than mentor, is actually my workplace friend, I would say. So even when she was my boss, I always knew if I faced any kind of problem, any kind of challenges, I can open my heart out to her. So having such a person, and more importantly, if you find that person in your boss, nothing like that. So I was very lucky to find that. So I think it cuts across gender. I wouldn't say it's only important for a woman or a man. It is important for both. Now, whether you find that mentor in at workplace or in your personal life, I mean, it doesn't matter. But you definitely need a mentor to let you know that where you are going right, where you aren't, and how you need to grow. Because if nobody's born with a thing like I'm right in this or wrong in this, unless and until somebody told that this is right or wrong, one would never know. That's one. Second is basically, if I talk about everyday life, there is so much of pressure or things you may just want to talk about. So if you did not have somebody you could talk that openly to, then there is so much pressure that is going to build up, and you are just going to talk to yourself and build it up inside. That's not right. And with so much of mental health issues, etc., happening around us, I think it's very important to find a mentor or a friend at workplace or off workplace. It can be your husband, it can be your boss, or a peer. So I definitely believe that. So I think more or less, like, since I had lot many mentors, I definitely got a lot of advice in my life, and I wouldn't say that there was something lacking. But one particular thing which I see and observe in a lot of people is art of switching off. So it could be that from work to home, that you are able to switch off and switch over, or it could be also the fact that switching off in a situation. So there is a situation of stress, and there is so much built up, or even between two people there is a communication happening, or a fight happening, if you may call it. And if you are able to switch off for say 5 seconds in that situation, you would come back out as a winner. But if you're not able to do that, then you would react in a manner in that particular situation which may or may not be right, and you may regret later. So this art of switching off is very important, and I see a lot of successful leader, whether in corporate world or off, had that. So I think there is no real algo. Speaking from purely my analytics background, that if I told you ABCD things that you need to do, because every person comes from a very different context of what they need to do, what they are supposed to do in their life to be a leader. And what as I was telling you that I have done in my life and which has helped me is probably a framework which I follow and religiously follow, which is I have clear goals set out. There are about 7 goals right now which I have, which is around life, finance, relationship, work, education, and whatnot. And then there are these are broken by timelines. So what do I want to achieve against each of them lifetime, then at a long-term level, short-term level, and what are my stepping stones. So these I actually observe very, very closely, and that's something which has worked for me. So probably that's my tenets to leadership, if I may say.
Okay.
However, leadership is still way too far. So I have a lot to achieve as we go ahead.